Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
And welcome back. We are going to get into a very detailed conversation this morning, as it is the first time we're going to be speaking with someone who has survived COVID-19 but has also lost a dear one in the process as well. That being said, I want to introduce this morning Ingrid Vega. She's a recovered patient of COVID-19. She's also the widow of the late Dido, who was the area representative in Corozal North. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me here today.
All right.
Hi, doctors. You look amazing.
Good morning, Ingrid.
All right. So we also have joining Ingrid is Dr. Shanna Pott. She's the general practitioner at the Belize Healthcare Partners Ltd. And she's also joined by Dr. Tania Morejon, who's also a general practitioner at BHPL. Good morning, ladies.
Hi, good morning.
Let's begin, Ingrid, by talking a bit about your experience with COVID-19. And I know that it will be an emotionally intense conversation to have with you, but we are prepared to give you the floor for you to share with us and, of course, the rest of the country your personal experiences with COVID-19 and the loss of a loved one.
That was actually...
Yeah, it has been a rough time lately, but thank God I am here today. I mean, he's amazing. He has been with me through all these days. He never leaves us, you know, he's right there with us all the time. So it is, yes, a little bit emotional, but somehow I pray every day for strength, and he's giving me that strength every day to keep on going, you know. When I started with the symptoms, I immediately seek medical attention and everything was fine, you know. I remember going to Dr. Shanna, to Belize Healthcare Partners, and she checked me. We did blood tests. We all checked our x-rays for me and my daughters. And all we found out was that I was dehydrated, right, doctor? And I went back home and I with some meds, and all of a sudden, like overnight, this virus just took over my lungs. You know, it was a quick thing, you know.
Yeah.
Somehow my sister has been my little angel too, and she moved so quickly and made me do another test the following day. So I think that helped me a lot. And that's when we found out that the virus was taking over, you know. And immediately, they called Dr. Hidalgo at the Belize Healthcare Partners, and I was transferred immediately from here, from Corozal Hospital. And that was my first experience with I was transferred, and I was there, I believed, on the 10th of December. And the following day, that was when my husband passed away on the 11th. And I believed, if I am not, correct me if I'm wrong, doctors, because I am, there are so many things I don't know. You know, I'll fill in the blanks. It's because of my doctors or my sister telling me what happened, no? And I think it was the same day that my husband passed away that I was told that I was going to have to be intubated. Was that right?
The following day.
The following day.
Yeah.
It was the 12th of December. I remember because it was my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there. And Ingrid became really distressed. Of course, we took it in strides with her when she first came. She was placed on a nasal cannula, receiving oxygen, and then we had to switch to high flow. And eventually she became too distressed. And so I was in there working alongside Ms. Rocio Hiron, who is our respiratory therapist. And under guidance from Dr. Hidalgo, we decided that Ingrid needed to be intubated. And I have to say that one of the reasons that I admire Ingrid a lot is because she had remained calm throughout the ordeal. Since the very beginning, she, of course, suffered a great loss while being in there, and she was fighting to stay alive, to recover, and she just knew that she had to get home to her girls, like she would always say. And she just remained calm. I remember we called Daisy, and Daisy spoke to her, gave her words of encouragement for her to accept and go ahead with the intubation.
So why was that decision taken? Was it because she would not have survived had she not moved on to mechanical ventilation?
Yes, actually, if she remained only in oxygen via high flow or nasal cannula, she wouldn't make it without the intubation. She make it because we did the decision, no, we make the decision on time to do the intubation and mechanical ventilation for her. Otherwise, she couldn't survive.
She was already very tired. She was very distressed. Her body needed to rest. And so, of course, then we had to intubate at that point.
One of the clear things that I hear from both Ingrid and you guys as physicians is how important timing is. Ingrid, you spoke of your sister, helping you make that rapid decision from one day being clear with your x-rays to the next day saying, no, we have to go back and check. Let's talk about those kind of decisions, because we know when you wait too long to go to the hospital, your prognosis or your potential for recovery lessens.
No, of course. I think it's very important for me to stress
What did you feel?
Actually, at the beginning, I was feeling okay, until I started feeling, I had chills. I started getting chills. And then eventually I started feeling dizzy until one day I actually fainted in front of my girls, and that got them so, they were frightened, in front of my dad and my girls, because my dad was helping me taking care of my girls. And that was when, I said, well, I need to go see someone else. And it was through my sister that got me Dr. Hidalgo and Dr. Pott and Dr. Tania to help me, And so I do want to stress that it is very important for us that as soon as we get symptoms to seek medical help, because we don't know what will happen. I was feeling okay, not perfect, but I got up, I was around, praying and dealing with my husband being at the hospital. I still had that strength every morning, every day, until just one day it happened. So I think it is very important to move quickly, seek medical attention immediately, because we tend to wait last minute, and that's when it's a little bit late. And for me, it was so timely, and that's because I did seek medical help, So you never know.
And describe to me the symptoms that day you were hospitalized. Sorry.
The symptoms? I actually, when I went in, I wasn't feeling too bad. I was okay. It's just the X-ray telling me that I am not okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question here, Ingrid, and this is a rather tough one, but I'm seeing what I would describe perhaps as a whirlwind of activities happening. This is immediately on the heels of the elections. You guys are getting ready as a family to see your husband take office in the house and all of these things, and then you're smacked with sickness. Describe what happened there.
What can I say? I ask myself the same thing, you know. I ask myself what happened. You know, sometimes I question why. I don't question God. You know, somehow I've built so much faith, you know, that I don't have the opportunity to question God of why he took away my husband. You know, I believe he has a plan for everyone. And my plan was to come back. I remember though, asking him before I went intubated, I remember asking him to please give me another chance to come back to my girls, you know. But I wasn't scared after I spoke to my sister, you know. I wasn't scared. And I prayed, you know, and I think that helped me a lot, not being afraid. Yeah. And we just have to keep on thanking God. I do believe in miracles, you know. I do believe that I am a miracle, and I am a strong believer now, you know. It's because of him I'm here today. Mm-hmm. So going back to the elections, to what happened, it was a big hit. I mean, I wasn't even present at my husband's funeral, you know. Mm-hmm. My daughter would be the one telling me, you know, what happened at the funeral. And as is, I'm not even in Facebook. I don't even go in Facebook right now because I'm not ready. I am not ready to see the funeral, to see the post of him. Mm-hmm. Because I am still dedicated on recovering. Yeah. I know that grieving would delay my recovery. Mm-hmm. I remember going to see my husband and telling him, you know, that I can't grieve him right now because I need to get back to my girls. I shed a couple tears, but I went back in and ready, you know. So I told him that I can't grieve him. So I haven't grieved him yet. Mm-hmm. Because I'm still in recovery. It's going to be a while. Because it's a day to day. Slowly, we're getting there. And I have to thank these amazing doctors too. I want to take the opportunity to thank all frontline workers. We tend to take them for granted sometimes. And this team has been so amazing, you know. You know what's so amazing? That even them have this strong faith, you know. Mm-hmm. They prayed for me every day. And I have to thank them for that, you know. Yeah. All the medical team at the Belize Healthcare Partners, my nurses. I mean, I'm talking from the youngest nurse to the oldest doctor. These guys love their jobs. They come every morning with a smile in their face, knowing that they're dealing with COVID patients, you know. Yeah. I mean, in 2 weeks that I was there, they made me fall in love with them. I love them. You know,
we love you too.
We love you.
I do have to tell you that when we were talking to the doctors before we got this interview scheduled, they did say one thing about you consistently, that you were a fighter and you had decided very early on that you were going to go home to your girls. Let's talk about this moment here. This was Christmas Eve. This was, I think, all of Belize shed a tear seeing this video of you going home on Christmas Eve. Just tell me that feeling. What was it like?
It was a bittersweet moment, but I was happy. I was happy that I was coming home to my girls for Christmas, you know. But getting home and having someone missing, you know. So it was a bittersweet moment, but yes, I was happy, and everyone was telling me about the kisses that I was, giving, but it was to my doctors and nurses, telling them thank you and goodbye, because I couldn't hug them, I couldn't kiss them. So I was giving, what do you call that? The
virtual hugs.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, of course, I was happy. My girls were waiting for me. So my family, Christmas was, I have an 8-year-old and an 18-year-old. So my 8-year-old is still into Santa Claus and opening gifts. And I still did that for them. I made sure they still got a Christmas. I mean, we pulled it through, And every day we just pray and continue praying for strength,
Let me turn my question now to Dr. Pott. And of course, Dr. Morejon. In having dealt with this particular case and to see how the patient went through the entire cycle, so to speak, and is still going through recovery, what has been perhaps one of the takeaways for you guys, either from a medical point of view or from a personal, a human point of view, to see someone going through this entire ordeal?
Well, I consider Ingrid a victory. The team worked, we're an entire team. And I like to stress on that. It's not just about doctors and nurses. We have our respiratory therapist, Ms. Rocio. We have
consultant
just
doctors.
Everybody that goes in there. And we all work together and give each other strength through everything that is done. COVID is very dynamic and unpredictable, which is something that we have to stress, because as Ingrid mentioned, I did evaluate her just one day before she became too ill and had to be hospitalized and eventually intubated. And when I saw her hemodynamically, she was fine, and she left there smiling, and she went home and everything was well. And it was Dr. Morejon who was on shift when she had to come back and be hospitalized. And I was a bit, but this has been the case in several other cases that I've seen as well, that I recently had a patient ask me, actually, he said, Doctora, but just one day before I was hospitalized, they told me that my x-ray was okay, and then I had to come and be admitted. And so, yes, COVID is very dynamic, very unpredictable. As in Ingrid's case, we took a multifaceted approach, as in everybody presents differently. And so, to say what we took away from that is that, for me personally, I believe that I look at Ingrid and I think that Ingrid had a fighting attitude from the beginning, and we did what we could have done, as we do with each and every one of our patients. And she's our success story.
I remember I was on call that night when Ingrid came to our facility. It was in the morning because it was 1:45 a.m. And she was in respiratory distress already, but not as bad as I thought she was going to get intubated. I left my shift with Ingrid in high flow, and the next day, Dr. Pott told me Ingrid get intubated. This is how COVID works. It's very dynamic, very unpredictable. One day the patients are apparently okay, and the next day we have complications already. One thing I remember, Ingrid asked me that night, because already Mr. Vega, her husband, was in multi-organ failure. Already he was bad. And one thing she asked me, Doctora, you think I will survive? You think I will go home with my girls? So I told her, Ingrid, I promise we will do all we can do in our hands. And like we do with all our patients, we are a team in there, like Doctora say. It's not only doctors, we have doctors, nurses, even the cleaners every day come to work with a nice smile and very good attitude to our patients. We even, when Ingrid was intubated and in waning off, that means that we were awakening, no? She was without sedation. We still with the tube, some nurses and me, we put a video with music, we dance for her, we sing for her. So that was, she was always with that attitude, like a hero attitude, a real hero. She always fight it. And I remember before she get intubated, I had that part, it touched my heart a lot because I have to carry her to Mr. Vega room when he passed away. And she was there, she had some tears, but she told me, Doctora, I have to look for myself and I need to live for my girls. So I carry her to her room again. And I remember one thing that I don't think I tell anybody yet, or I told Ingrid. I squeezed Mr. Vega's hand. He died, he passed away already. And I told him, I promise I will look for Ingrid. And we will try our best. There Ingrid is today. Fortunately for all of us and for her family.
Yes.
Now,
Thank you.
it's not missed on anybody how unique your story is, Ingrid, for many reasons. One, it highlights just how COVID can be indiscriminate. Very often we think it's much older people, very, very big people. You have other conditions. You don't fit that description. It's also a situation where some people don't recover, as the case with your husband. And more so when it gets as severe as requiring mechanical ventilation, it is usually a very hard fight back that many don't make it through. So your story encapsulates so many of the challenges that come with being able to battle this disease. When you think of, your process, being hospitalized just the right time, being intubated, coming out of intubation, and then finally being released. What are the moments that stand out that you say? Because I know you're a woman of faith, that you said that thank you to God to say, thank you for the miracle that I asked for.
I keep on thanking God every day. And I want to tell everyone, if He has a purpose for me here, and if it's changing one life, then that's my purpose. If it's changing 2 or 3, I don't know, but I think that sooner or later, I'm going to find out why He has me here, So yes, I'm going to be a change woman. I am a change woman. My family has been so believers as well, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Belize. It's overwhelming. It was so overwhelming of all the prayers that my husband, my girls, we all got these prayers, messages. So I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that lit a candle, prayed for me, and had me in their prayers every day. Thanking my medical team. They're amazing. And of course, I have to keep on thanking God every day, because it was not easy. It has not been easy, but I keep on fighting, and just don't be scared, guys, That's my thing that I think that helped me a lot, not being scared. So when you get to the hospital, just keep on praying and don't be scared. That helped me, you know.
Now let's talk about what recovery is like after the extent of the severe COVID that Ingrid had. Dr. Pott, Dr. Morejon, I can see that you're still on oxygen therapy. And so tell us a bit about how you feel, and then the doctors can tell us about what happens after someone is released.
You know, the recovery has been every day. I seem to be improving little by little. I am on oxygen right now because I didn't want to take the chance, you know, of having to be worrying of checking my oxygen level. And I know I was going to be on an interview today. And whenever I talk a lot or whenever I move a lot, I still get tired. I get tired. But I've been working with Dr. Rocio with my therapy. She gives me therapy, and I need to do my therapy every day. I am walking. I am doing stuff on my own. I mean, I remember the first day I couldn't even brush my teeth or comb my hair or eat. You know, I had to depend on people doing all that for me. And today I can say that I am doing all of that by myself. And I still need to be on the oxygen, yes, minimal. But I do get tired, and hopefully I am praying every day to get off of it. But I think it's gonna be a while. But like I said, I keep on fighting every day because I know that I need to get out the oxygen, you know. And I would be off oxygen, I would say maybe an average of 7 hours a day. I would be off the oxygen. When I'm at rest, I am okay. When I move a lot, then it tends to come down a little. When I go sleep, I put it on. Or when I do my therapy, I need my Dr. Rocio always telling me to make sure I put it on because I do get tired. Therapy takes a lot. So I think I am doing good. What do you say, Doc?
You're doing great.
You're doing good, and you're looking good.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Of course, there is a post-COVID
Syndrome.
post-COVID complication in patients with depend of the severity of the COVID. Like Ingrid, that was so severe, it will take longer time to recover. They have a period like 3-4 months with insomnia, fatigue, weakness. Like I said, depend of the severity. Some patients with less severe lesions, he only experience post-COVID insomnia and fatigue for a period of 3 to 4 months. We have the patients to be patient because with time they will get that fully recovery. With Ingrid, we think that she's going very good. She's doing amazing because Ingrid is a very disciplined patient. She take all the advice and she do all her therapy, and she continue keep in touch with us almost daily. Even if it's just to say hello, hi, how are you? She's still in recovery process, but she's doing very well.
Yeah, and some patients do experience a long-lasting issue when it comes to having problems breathing on their own, as in the case with Ingrid, that she's still on the oxygen because the type of pneumonia that's associated with COVID-19 tends to leave some scarring in the alveoli, which are the air sacs. And so this, we've actually seen this in another patient that we had to admit again. Dr. Hidalgo ended up admitting the patient after recovering from COVID, but still having aftermath of the disease. Wow. And so it's a process, and post-COVID syndrome is
real.
Real, and the post-COVID lung, you know, that that takes a while to recover from it as well. But Ingrid is doing well, so we're very proud of her.
And let's be clear too that this team, Dr. Pott and Dr. Morejon, you're both at Healthcare Partners. Ingrid was at Belize Healthcare Partners COVID-19 unit. I know in previous conversations, Dr. Pott, you said it's been a constant flow at capacity or almost capacity. Is that still the case today?
We've still been very busy, but today we have less patients today.
Okay.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing.
That's a good sign too. Yeah.
Yes.
So Ingrid, as we round off this conversation, I know there are people you want to thank, but also talk to our viewers. And your story was the miracle that people wanted before Christmas, seeing you go home to your girls. But it is also a stark reminder that you can lose your loved ones and that this illness can take you from feeling a little bit bad at home to being on a mechanical ventilator in just a few days.
Yeah, well, what I can say is, guys, you have your family. Don't wait for tomorrow. Tell them you love them, show them you love them, give them a hug, give them a kiss, because you never know what will happen tomorrow. And that's the case with me. I mean, it was an overnight, it just happened so quickly. He was gone. I was able to, thanks to Dr. Tania, I was able to see him and say my goodbyes. But it was almost 2 weeks or 1 week that I couldn't tell him anything. I mean, I spoke to him via phone. I remember Dr. Shanna putting me and my girls talking to him, but I don't know if he heard me. I mean, I can say in my point of view, when I was intubated, I couldn't hear anything. I don't recall hear anyone talking to me, so I'm not sure if he heard me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was a different case, but in my case, I couldn't hear anyone while they spoke with me. So, guys, just don't wait for tomorrow. Tell your family, show them you love them. And yes, I do want to thank everyone, but I can't name them because there's so much of people that I want to thank. But everyone was just amazing. I mean, so it's not only me, it's God, of course, my doctors, amazing team. And they're my next family. I always say I have my family, my siblings. I have my PUP family. And now I gained another group of family, So I'm blessed, guys,
You're really blessed.
Yeah. Well, we do wish you the best on your recovery. We want to thank you for sharing your story with us today, letting us know how you're feeling, and to hear the backstory of how things progressed. Dr. Pott, Dr. Morejon, thank you for joining us as well. And to all of you, well, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the loss within the medical community. Another doctor lost his life to COVID-19. He was at your facility, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in our facility.
Yeah. And
he gets serious complications.
He arrived there already intubated?
Yes. He got intubated at KHMH, and so the same day that he got intubated, I went with the birth ambulance and we brought him over to our facility. So we did not, we weren't the ones to intubate him. However, I had seen him a few days before, evaluated him, and he was already not doing well when he left and went over to the KHMH.
Well, I am sorry. And as two frontline workers, I know you're always geared up and in that COVID unit. Dr. Pott, we talk about how you have to quarantine from your family and stay away from your children. Thank you for the work
Fun.
that you do, and please stay safe. And Ingrid, speedy recovery and keep faith.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Have a
ladies.
good day, guys.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
And that's it for our COVID-19 update for today. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking to representatives of the Social Security Board about making your claims online. So please stay tuned.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.